Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy 4th of July. Today, what I'm going to do is go give you a tour of all my pepper plants on the front porch and then in the garden to kind of show you the difference in the two. Just I figured I haven't done like a nice full-on just pepper review update so far this season. So let's get into it. Right over here, the first one you see here is the Turkish oily paste. You can kind of see right here some of the pods. These are great pepper. Hence the name. They turn it into like a pepper paste in the Middle East. I believe, obviously in Turkey and Syria and those regions like that. It's a very mild heat, probably like a 2 on the scale. So it's pretty good entry-level pepper for anyone who doesn't do the heat, but still wants a little bit of tingle in their food. Over here, and I have some ornamentals just kind of mixed in, so bear with me. This is just a bird of paradise. Just an indoor plant. I have to take it inside, obviously, for the winter. This is a Burkina pepper, West African pepper, Burkina pepper. Not really flowering yet, but it's doing fine. There's some cabbage or kale or something. I had some extra seeds left over. It's just kind of hanging out in the pepper container in its own little spot there. This is an elephant trunk. I'm all over the place today, guys. Sorry about that. Elephant trunk pepper, and it looked really sad. It looks like it almost got eaten by the slugs. This early in the spring, but it has somewhat recovered. I've already pulled about 3-4 pods off of it, so it's coming along. But I have more of these in ground, other spots in the garden, so I'm not too disappointed that this one's not as healthy as it could be. Over here, this is my surprise pepper. This is a random cross hybrid that I discovered just kind of growing. I'm not sure what this is a cross of, but it has a pretty good heat to it. It's not too bad, kind of thicker walls, so it has a little bit of a crunch to it as well. I'm just calling it my surprise pepper for right now because it was a surprise. I grew it and it just kind of came out some random thing. I was like, wow, seeds I saved. So, surprise. There we go. We'll do a review on that later on this summer probably if you guys are interested in that. Leave a comment down below if you want to see me try some of these peppers. Moving over here, this is just some basil in the way, and behind it are tomato plants, which I plan on letting it to kind of vine up the railing here, the front porch. Let's kind of use that as a support. So, this is about maximizing all of your space you possibly can. Oh, right here. See down here? It's a lavender. Started that from seed. Kind of has a little home right there, just kind of chilling next to the basil and the tomato. So there you go, guys. You can find anywhere you got, just put some plants, maximize all that sunlight. Do not worry. Don't be shy. They're going to do just fine. Now this one here is pretty intriguing to me. This is actually the yellow space chili. If you don't know about that, check into that. I think the Chinese government sent a bunch of seeds up to space to see what the effects of cosmic radiation would be. Long story short, they came back, and some of the pepper pods just did some crazy things, some giant shapes and weird twists and turns and things. So this is pretty cool. And right down here, first one is just starting to turn that golden yellow color. So it won't be long till that guy is ready to rock and roll. And I mean, this is it's a pretty, where am I at? This is a pretty good size pod. All right, this one here is a paprika pepper, and it looks kind of sad. I thought it was going to die, honestly, but I almost pulled it up, but it has recovered. So don't give up on your plants. They will recover if you give them enough time, and all the fertilizer requirements, water, etc. As long as you're good to them, they have a tendency to kind of bounce back. Just gotta be patient. This one right here, guys, is the Sugar Rush. I want to say Sugar Rush Peach, and this thing has tons of pods on it already. Doing awesome. Kind of all these pods down there, so check that one out. This one here is probably the worst plant I have of all my plants. This is the Malls Red. It's a cayenne type pepper. It's in a little Charlie Brown Christmas tree looking thing. It's got some aphids I can see on it, so that's a bad sign that the weaker plants are the ones that are going to get attacked by the bugs. And this thing's had a hard life, and it just hasn't done anything at all this year. I thought it was going to die just like the other one, and it somewhat came back. But I mean, there's some good growth on the top here, and some aphids that need to be dealt with later. But it may recover, it may not. Moving over here, this is an orange bell pepper, and it's not doing great at all. So I threw some Chinese long beans in the same pot to kind of utilize the space, and this one at least is kind of starting to grow up the railing on this side. So use all the space you can, multitask, interplant I'm trying to say. Some Japanese mustard greens, these little containers. This is the serrano pepper, and see that? And this got pods definitely starting to come out on that one. This guy here is the Charleston Hot, which is also another cayenne type pepper, and it has pods galore coming out on this guy. So that's doing awesome. It's probably the tallest plant, so maybe not the best for a small small container patio garden, because this plant is definitely the tallest one so far, and it's just reaching up and still going. Now this one here, I will absolutely butcher the name of this. It's the Asi Kamirski or something. I don't know. It's like a Serbian or Croatian pepper, but it has this really awesome corking on it. If you can't really see right here where the kind of lines are coming on it, whenever the plant's done, it's going to look red with well, it's called corking, but it's going to have like the white kind of lines going all the way through it, almost like a jalapeno when it gets extra ripe. But yeah, definitely going to check that one out. It's kind of like a pretty unique, but these pods are massive on this. Absolutely just massive. So let me go ahead and show you the difference between, these are the patio peppers. I'll take you up to the pallet garden and show you my in-ground peppers that are all mostly the same exact variety as these. There are only one or two that are different. So basically it's kind of an experiment to see how well they do in the ground versus in the pots. And just kind of as a testament to see what good soil and good gardening preparation can do, and what benefit you can have if you do that in-ground organic gardening. So let me take you guys up there and I'll show you what the difference looks like. All right then, so this is walking into the pallet garden. As you can see, this is just a sea of absolute jungle of plants. Something to behold, right? I mean, it's just absolutely blowing up. So like I said, the container peppers are doing great, but then look at these guys. This is a ghost pepper. This one is the, I'll say that's the Mall's Red, which you see the one on the front porch was dying and not doing well at all. Out here in the garden, it is absolutely rocking and rolling. This one right here, check out some of these pods on this. Now I forget which one this is. This might be that, see, I do this every year. I always try to label everything, I really do, but somehow these 3 or 4 plants right here, I missed labeling them. So I have no idea what these peppers are. So I'm just gonna have to let them grow and find out, but I'm pretty sure these are the Turkish, the oily paste ones. Don't quote me on it, but I'm almost positive these are the oily paste. And you can see just how big these pods are, and this plant is doing so much better than the one in the container. Moving over here, this is the serrano. Back here, some sweet, they're like the snacker, like the orange and yellow snack crunchy peppers you get at the store. Some of those. Over here is a paprika. There's a volunteer tomato that just kind of randomly grew, and I forgot to pull it out, and then I forgot about it, and somehow overnight it just turned into this massive thing. So I'm not complaining, free tomato plants and all, but it's kind of in the way of the peppers, but oh well, can't complain about free tomatoes in my opinion. There's some more of the paprika, and you saw the paprika on the front porch, not doing well at all. Out here in the garden, doing awesome, just rocking and rolling. And this massive giant plant right here, if you can see that pepper plant, I'm sorry I really can't get close right now because there's cucumber plants growing in front of me, vining around. I'm trying not to step on everything as everything has just absolutely taken off. That is a white ghost pepper, white boot jalokia, and it is just absolutely a massive bush. So there you go. So that's the end of the pepper tour. And while I got you here, might as well just show off some of the other stuff here in the old pallet garden. This is the lychee tomato. This thing is massive. It is absolutely covered in these giant white flowers. It's also covered in a lot of really giant spikes and everything everywhere on this guy. I mean, just look at these savage little things on it. It's kind of like a risk-reward thing. This is kind of just an experiment to try it out. I typically try to defer away from spiky things because I always find a way to spike myself. I'm sure if that's proper English or not, but we're going with it. But anyways, there's that. The asparagus in the background right there, it's doing fine. It's putting off some more new shoots actually, and this is, this is 4th of July, so it's doing its thing. This is its 3rd year, maybe 2nd year. So next year, I have not harvested the first spear on this yet. because I'm trying to let the plant develop and get strong, and it is putting out tons and tons and tons of growth. So next year it's definitely going to be strong enough for me to break some off and eat it. I will try to get a little bit closer for you guys here. My purple cabbages, they're trying to head up. They haven't started heading up yet. I'm afraid it's going to start getting too hot to really start getting into the heading process for the cabbage. So I'm doing the best I can. Some more of the Chinese cabbage over here. But check out this. This is just kind of an experiment. It's growing some, this is Dakota black popcorn, heirloom popcorn from Baker Creek seeds I got. And they say, you know, knee-high, 4th of July for your corn. Well, this is about, I don't know, 4 feet tall. So unless you have some pretty long legs, I think I'm well past the whole knee-high thing here on the 4th of July. But I'm going to try to get a little bit closer and show you something else if I can try not to step on other stuff in the process. I showed you a little bit ago where I harvested my garlic and I had the okra interplanted behind it. Well, if you look right there, this okra is absolutely taken off. Some of these guys even here, I want to say right through here, where's that? Right there. You really can't tell, but there's some baby flower buds just starting to form. Like this guy right there, if that's coming through, those are baby flower buds. So you stay on your okra because you want to make sure you pick them young when they're tender. If they get hard, they're not really edible. So there's a good close-up of the crunching lunchbox type bell peppers. Right there's one of those. I believe that's a yellow or orange, I forget. There's another one back there you can't see. It's in this absolute massive jungle of plants. And looking at it from back here, I mean, it's just absolutely going nuts this year, guys. So much organic matter, compost in this soil. It is blowing up. It is blowing up and going off. This is a zucchini or a squash. I forget exactly what type it is. I want to say it's a bush zucchini, but check out these leaves. They're absolutely massive. Just shows you what you can do with organic soil. This is the Thai, the red roselle. I did a video on that last year where I grew it in a container. This year it's in the ground. And it started off slow. It's going to start off slow. This is an actual very tropical plant. It has survived. It's putting on some of the calyxes there. Won't be long till I can harvest some of those. And kind of hard to see over the corn, but here in the back, those are my red gold potatoes. And they're starting to see how they're kind of dying back. But right now I could probably harvest this and get some new potatoes and some smaller ones, but I'm trying to let these guys grow and mature as much as possible. Probably 2 more weeks. Pull these guys out, if not maybe sooner. It's going to be 95 degrees for like the next week or so, so they're actually not going to form any bulbs, because after it gets to a certain temperature, the potato, the tubers are going to stop developing. So right now the soil in there is nice and cool, so I'm just going to let them kind of hang out in there and just keep growing. And in the corner here is the blueberries underneath the bird netting, and this is the pink lemonade variety, which is just regular blueberry. They just happen to be a little bit pink. The coloration, see right in there. Those are probably ready to pick very soon. Pink lemonade blueberries. So there you guys have it, 4th of July pepper and pallet garden tour. If I can not fall over, that'd be nice. Yeah, so this corn, geez, is chest high to me. So I think we got the whole knee-high thing beat completely. But there you go, guys. I'll wrap it up right here. Just a nice little pallet garden tour for you. Check out the peppers. Hope you guys have a great 4th of July. Hope your gardens are doing awesome. We'll see you next time here on the hillside with another review of something else. Not sure what yet. Probably be a tomato update, I think. Tomato update is probably up next, guys. So stay tuned for that. We'll catch you next time here on the hillside, guys. All right, bye-bye.